streaming. From Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium in Brunswick, Ohio, at Brunswick High School, it's girls high school lacrosse between the Rocky River Pirates and the Brunswick Blue Devils. Hi, everybody. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Terork for this exciting matchup here tonight, Nick. But before we get that, we want to take a moment to give our thoughts and prayers to the Bay Village community. This past week, Bay Village boys lacrosse player, sophomore Dylan Vaselik, suffered an injury this past Tuesday against their matchup against Olmsted Falls. Unfortunately, passed away. We want to give our condolences and thoughts and prayers to the Vaselik family and the whole Bay Village community. Unfortunately, a tragedy happened this past week, Nick, in Northeast Ohio in lacrosse.
Yeah, just an absolute tragic story. Prayers out to the whole family, to the whole Bay Village community.
Hopefully they can get through this with time. The Bay Village boys lacrosse team canceled their game this past Thursday. They have one more next Tuesday at Menor. I don't know if they'll play that game or not. I would have to think probably not. But, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Bay Village community and Dylan Vaselik and his family. Let's get to the matchup here tonight. The Rocky River Pirates, we'll start with them, Nick. They come in 10-5 this season. They have won the last 4 out of the 5 matchups between Brunswick, including winning 3 in a row the last 3 years. And Rocky River, they just got done playing Jackson last night at home. They lost that one 13-9, but they have won 4 out of their last 5 games.
Yeah, this is a very good Rocky River team. They've compared to previous years, the record's not as good as it has been, but they still have a lot of the same playmakers that you're used to seeing with this Rocky River Pirates team, and I'm excited to watch them play tonight. Rocky
River was 19-3 a year ago. They made it to the regional finals, but lost that one 7-5. As Nick mentioned, not as good as they've been in years past, but they're trying to get back to that regional final and then some in the postseason. But they have to take care of business tonight against the Brunswick Blue Devils. Having a better year than last year. Last year they were 5-12. This year so far 8-9. They as well played yesterday on the road against St. Joseph Academy. They lost that one 11-6. But really, the story here, Nick, is the upperclassmen. Junior Brooke Gelhar, senior Abigail Karam, and junior Riley Velchek really leading the way for the Blue Devils this season.
Yeah, those are their 3 main scorers. They're all having really good seasons, and they're a huge reason why this Brunswick team has improved so much from last season. And a win tonight, they could potentially get to 500 record, which would be an awesome step forward for this program.
We'll see who gets back in the win column tonight. With that, let's take a look at some sponsors that have made this broadcast possible. Nick, take it away.
We have Kathy Dress Realtor at eXp Reality. Kathy is a multi-million-dollar top producer in Northeast Ohio. She strives to give all her clients the best knowledge and support through each phase of the home buying and selling process. Give her a call or send her a text at 330-242-0377 to get started. You can email her at kathydressrealtor@gmail.com. Sergeant Clean Car Wash. They deliver the highest quality car wash and superior customer service in Northeast Ohio in the shortest possible amount of time. Their mission is to provide the highest quality car wash and superior customer service while serving as positive role models in their communities. You will not find a better wash than Sergeant Clean. The Robert Gates Legacy Foundation. This foundation is to raise money to provide relief to transplant recipients. Their costs of rejection medications are thousands of dollars per month, and they are needed to keep them alive. Also to provide scholarships in Rob's name. Rookie Sports Bar and Grill. your one stop for all things food and fun with a variety of cold drinks as well. They have fun and games, great people, great laughs, and great times. They feature the largest selection of dartboards, and pool tables you will find on the west side. From warm food to cold beer, they will have you covered from start to finish. Check them out today at 6913 West 130th Street in Parma Heights. They are in the heart of town. You will walk away satisfied at Rookies as they hit a home run every time.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you to all our wonderful sponsors. And with that being said, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the starters and the tonight's matchup here at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. You're listening to Keon Sports Network, Girls High School Lacrosse, between the Rocky River Pirates and the Brunswick Blue Devils. Coming up next. Welcome back to Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium for this girls lacrosse high school matchup between the Rocky River Pirates and the Brunswick Blue Devils. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Teroric. Let's take a look at our starters for tonight, starting with the Rocky River Pirates. The junior, Addie Tisler. The junior as well, Addie Russell. Junior Kylie Spees. Senior McKenna Kelly. Junior Emma Yesbach. Sophomore Clara DeWitt. The junior El Mocho. The senior Bodie McDougal. Senior Grace DeWitt. Sophomore Ellie Holton. Senior Sarah Knox. And inside the crease for the Pirates, senior Claudia Walsh. That is the starting lineup for head coach Aaron Mitchell and the Rocky River Pirates. Let's head over to Nick for the starting lineup for the Brunswick Blue Devils. Take it away, Nick.
We have number 2, Brooke Geller. Number 4, Svetlana Milanovic. Number 5, Abigail Kareem. Number 11, Chloe Cash. Number 12, Peyton Ellish. Number 15, Lindsay Roman. Number 18, Riley Velsick. Number 20, Miriam Azap. Number 21, Abigail Voller. Number 22, Reese Damron. And in the goal, number 42, Addison Burrs.
Thank you, Nick. That is Brunswick Blue Devils girls lacrosse head coach Colby Spagnolo's lineup for tonight. Let's take a look at some other sponsors that have made this possible. Let's start with Westside Family Dental. Westside Family Dentistry is conveniently located near Detroit Avenue. Here, the professionals know that dental health is not just about white smiles. It's about having strong teeth and healthy gums. It's about prolonging the simple joy of eating delicious things. Their mission is to help their patients accomplish these goals in a painless, compassionate, and efficient way. You can visit them at 18611 Detroit Avenue, Lakewood, Ohio, with a zip code of 44107. Chattery's Pizzeria in the heart of Bay Village at 28611 Lake Road. This incredible pizzeria offers a full menu of food and drinks. They have everything from a casual dining experience to the romantic setting of a long-awaited date night. Their food is made on the spot with fresh ingredients and classic recipes that the entire family will enjoy. From a cozy spot in the igloo to the party room, everyone will be taken care of. Give them a call at 440-471-4485 or email them at info@chattypizzeria for reservations for the upcoming prime rib night. Those are some of our sponsors making this broadcast possible. Thank you to all our lovely sponsors as we are about 3 minutes away from the opening draw here in Brunswick, Ohio at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium at Brunswick High School. We're going to take a break. We're going to have the PA announcer introduce the starters here on the field along with the national anthem, and then we'll be back for girls high school lacrosse. You're listening to Keon Sports Network on YouTube. Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium, the home of the Brunswick Blue Devils, here in Brunswick, Ohio, as we are set for girls high school lacrosse action between the Rocky River Pirates and the Brunswick Blue Devils. Hi, everybody. Once again, Jared Vinecourt, joined alongside Nick Terork. A beautiful spring day. Sun is shining finally. Seems like the sun hasn't shined in a week with all the rain we've had. 56 degrees at game time. Feels like 53. And this is a huge school/sports complex, Nick. We have, obviously, our game here in the stadium, and then behind the stadium, the softball and baseball teams are playing as well. So this is a huge school, a Division I school, kind of what you expect, but you always forget sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. It's my first time here, and I was surprised by how nice and how big this stadium is, and it's just a good sports night here in Brunswick with 3 games going on at one time. The whole community's out to watch, and it should be a fun night.
You basically have to hike up the bleachers to get to the press box. It's like climbing a mountain. As we are set to get underway for the opening draw here between Rocky River and Brunswick. Taking the opening draw for Brunswick, that will be number 18, Riley Velchek. And then for the Pirates, it'll be Emma Yesbach as we are set to get underway. Whistle is blown, and we're off. Rocky River wins the draw. That's Grace DeWitt on the left wing on the far sideline. Grace DeWitt moving to her right towards the middle of the field. She gives it over to Emma Yesbach. On the right wing, on the near sideline, that's Addie Russell. At the X now, that's Addie Tisler. Moving towards the right wing, trying to circle back. Fires a shot, but it's off the post. Brunswick comes up with a ground ball. Coming up with that ground ball, I believe, is Brooke Gelhar. As she's lined up on the left wing, on the near sideline. Brunswick going the other way from their defensive zone. Pass intercepted by Addie Russell of Rocky River. She's now in the middle of the field in the Pirates' offensive zone on the right wing, on the near sideline. Russell gives it over to the middle of the field. That's Emma Yasbach, and bounces in and scores. Emma Yasbach gets it from the middle of the field, runs straight up the middle, bounces in the bottom left corner, and Rocky River is on the board with 10:57 left to play in the first quarter. It's 1-0 Pirates.
Great play there by Yasbach, just going straight at the net from the center of the field, goes around one defender and bounces it into the net. Just a really outstanding play to start this game off for the Pirates.
Both teams coming off losses yesterday. Pirates only scored 9 goals. You think there's got to be some offensive urgency from the Pirates, and we've already seen it here in the early going. As the next draw is won by the Pirates. On the right wing, on the near sideline, that's Addie Russell. She fell down. She was pushed. Pirates will remain possession. Crossing midfield into their offensive zone. That is Emma Yasbach once again. She gives it over to El Mocho. At the X now, that's Tisler. At the right wing, on the near sideline. She moves back to the X, trying to wrap around the goal. At the left wing, on the near sideline. And getting fouled is Grace DeWitt. So Grace DeWitt will have a free shot on the left side of the arc on the near sideline. Grace DeWitt, the senior. Whistle is blown. And she scores. Grace DeWitt making it look easy. The number 1 scorer for the Pirates puts that in the top left corner of the net. It's 2-0 Pirates with 9:57 left in the first.
What a great start here for the Pirates. Looking to rebound after the loss yesterday. It's their leading scorer, DeWitt. One of two DeWitt sisters on this team. Grace is the leading scorer. Her sister Clara is the fourth leading scorer, and Grace gets it started here early.
And the DeWitt sisters are two peas in a pod. They have great chemistry and connection together, and it's sad to see for Erin Mitchell's sake that Grace DeWitt will be graduating this year as she wins the draw on the left side, on the left wing on the near side. DeWitt in the middle of the field, gets the ball right back. Emma Yazbach flips it over to Tisler at the X. And firing a shot and scoring, sneaking around the X and in front of the goal. That is, I believe, Ellie Holton, the sophomore, with her first goal on the night. And quickly, we're not even 3 minutes in, Nick, and the Pirates already up 3-0.
Yeah, the Pirates are just off to as strong of a start as you can possibly have. 3 minutes into the game, 3 goals, and I think that loss yesterday, I think, might have woke them up and gotten them back into the form that they need to get into here as the season winds down, and we look forward to the playoffs here coming up soon.
Holton wrapped around from the X, got that in the top right corner of the net from the left wing on the far sideline as once again Rocky River wins the draw. Emma Yazbach in the middle of the field. She gives it over to Addie Russell. Grace DeWitt gets it back on the left wing. Back to Emma Yazbach at the left wing. Off the post. Coming up with the loose ball is the Pirates. That's El Mocho, the junior. Mocho dumps it over to Yazbach in the middle of the field. And she started a little bit early after the foul was called. Now gives it back to Yazbach. Grace DeWitt on the left wing on the far sideline. Tisler over to Holton once again at the X. Holton wrapping around. Gives it back to Tisler. Not able to come up the pass cleanly near the doorstep. Ball is loose behind the net. Tisler picks it up. Tisler at the X. Wraps around the doorstep. And did it hit the net or go in? And Tisler scores. We couldn't tell from the angle if it hit the side of the net or Tisler sneaked it in. And that's exactly what she did. Tisler wrapped around from the X, sneaked towards that left wing and got in the top left corner. So to give Tisler her first goal of the evening, the Pirates up 4-0 with 8:20 left to go here in the first.
The great start for the Pirates continues. There's Tisler, another one of the leading scorers on this team. She gets it started here early for herself, makes it 4-0, less than 4 minutes into this one. And this Rocky River team showing why they've been such a problem in recent years. They're just playing really good lacrosse right now.
And we don't know if Brunswick gets off to slow starts or they're a little sluggish. As going and taking a fall is Grace DeWitt. The Pirates won the draw. DeWitt was on the right wing on the near sideline, and she did a somersault. She's okay. She puts back on her mask. As whistle is blown, and we resume play. Grace DeWitt gives it over back to Emma Yazbach in the middle of the field in the offensive zone. Moving to her right, near the doorstep, and she scores! Emma Yazbach with 2 goals here in the first. It's 5-0 Pirates with 7:59 remaining.
Wow, what a start here for Yazbach, too. 2 goals for herself. She's not one of the top scorers on this team, but so far in this one, she has been dynamic here. Really, both times now that she's scored, she's attacked straight from the center of the net and just put it in with a great shot. And, man, the Pirates look unstoppable.
And Brunswick wisely takes a timeout. Head coach Colby Spagnolo needs to get her team back on the same page and has to come alive here in the first quarter. We're going to step aside. We're going to take a timeout with them. 5-0 our score. Pirates lead Brunswick with 7:59 left in the first. You're listening to Keon Sports on YouTube. 5-0 our score here at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium, Brunswick, Ohio. Brunswick High School. Rocky River leads Brunswick with 7:59 left here in the first. 5-0. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Terork for this girls lacrosse high school action as both teams wrapping up the regular season. Brunswick, this is their last game here today. As for Rocky River, they have one more next week at home on May 13th against Stronsville to wrap up their season, and then we'll see where the cards will be drawn for the postseason for these two teams. As we get ready for the next draw, it is won by Rocky River on the right wing on the near sideline. That's Grace DeWitt. DeWitt gives it back over to Emma Yazbach in the middle of the field in the Pirates' offensive zone. Yazbach gives it back to Grace DeWitt in the middle of the field in their offensive zone. She gives it over to El Mocho. Yazbach gives it over to Tisler. Tisler gives it over to Clara DeWitt at the X. Try to get it over to Taylor Scalabrino, lost in the sun, but is able to track down the loose ball. She gives it over to El Mocho on the left wing on the far sideline. Gives it over to Grace DeWitt in the middle of the field. Mocho gets it right back. Tisler moving to her left, and shot blocked by Addison Burns on the near post.
Great save there by Burns. She comes up with a big-time save to get the ball back in the hands of the Blue Devils offense. They really needed that one right there. Hopefully the Blue Devils can turn that good save into some good offense and get right back into this game.
And once Burns made the save, she gave it to Abby Voller on the left side, on the near sideline on the left wing, and she took a fall, but Brunswick able to recover, but Voller still in their own defensive zone. And Rocky River comes up with a ground ball. They can score, they work on transition, and shot goes wide left. That was El Mocho.
That was a good opportunity there for the Pirates to extend their lead. Unfortunately for them, the shot just missed. But now, again, if you're the Blue Devils, you can't turn it over here like you just did on the last possession. You got to at least hold on to the ball for a while here to keep the Pirates from adding to their lead.
Yeah, we really haven't seen Brunswick do anything really well offensively.
They've barely had the ball. They've had the ball for, at most, maybe 30 seconds at a time. It's hard to do much on offense when you just don't have the ball.
So after the shot goes out of bounds, Burns gives it over to Abby Karam. Karam gives it over to Svetlana Milankovic on the near sideline on the left wing, now in the defensive zone of the Blue Devils. Gives it over to Velchek at the right wing on the far sideline. That's Mia DeFazio. DeFazio now moves over to the X. Now at the left wing on the near sideline, that's Velchek. Velchek gives it over to Karam. Back over to Cash. Cash moving to her right, now in the middle of the field. Loses it for a moment, but able to recover. Gives it over back to Velchek on the left wing on the near sideline. 4:40 remaining here in the first. Rocky River leads Brunswick 5-0. Cash gets the pass from Velchek, still on that left wing on the near sideline. Cash moving to her right in the middle of the field in the Blue Devils offensive zone. And Emma Yazbach is just all over the place, playing tremendously well on defense. Brunswick can't get a shot off. As trying to fire a shot at the left wing on the near sideline was Abby Kiram, but it was high and out of bounds. So Rocky River comes up with possession.
Well, that's a missed opportunity there for the Blue Devils. They had the ball for a while, which is a step forward for them on offense, but that pass just went straight out of bounds. Not what you want to see at all for a team trying to overcome a 5-0 deficit.
Rocky River in possession. That's McKenna Kelly. Kelly drops it for a moment, and coming up with the ground ball is Lindsey Roman. She gives it over to Brooke Gelhar. Gelhar at the X. Gelhar gives it over to Abby Karam right in the middle of the doorstep, wide open, and scores. The Blue Devils are on the board. Karam got that in the top left corner of the net. It's 5-1 Rocky River with 3:31 left in the first.
Great shot by Karam, but even better pass there by Brooke Gelhar to set her up for that goal. Just right as she's cutting to the net, hit her right in stride, and she was able to put that one in the back of the net. Just a massive goal there for the Blue Devils to get out of the early game slump, get on the board, and get some momentum going.
And we've seen that a lot throughout the lacrosse season. A lot of players just slipping past through the defense. The defense doesn't even realize that they're behind them, and they're wide open, as Karen was there. On the next draw, it's won by Brunswick. Riley Velchek at the right wing on the far sideline. Brunswick at the X, that's Gelhar. She loses it, and coming up with the ground ball is McKenna Kelly. McKenna Kelly in the Pirates' defensive zone at the X. Kelly stepped out of bounds, and Brunswick comes up with a huge turnover. Velchek trying to fire it over to what looks like, I'm not sure who that was. I can't read the number.
That was a good scoring opportunity there if she was able to come up with that pass. Had her set up right in front of the net. Just could not come down with the pass, and unfortunately now the ball's going the other way.
And on the turnover, running straight down the middle of the field, is Grace DeWitt. She gets her second goal for the Pirates in the top left corner of the net. It's 6-1. Rocky River leads Brunswick with 2:41 left here in the first.
And here comes back the Pirates, just taking that momentum that the Blue Devils seemed like they were trending towards having and taking it right back to the Pirates' side. The lead is right back up to 5, and it's been a just sloppy play for the Blue Devils on the last couple possessions. Just too many dropped passes, too many drop balls, a lot of turnovers, and the Pirates are taking advantage of it.
And no one had an answer for Grace DeWitt, showing off the wheels in the middle of the field, as Nick said, taking advantage of Brunswick's mistakes. 2:41 remain here in the first. Rocky River leads 6-1 over Brunswick. The next draw is won by the Blue Devils. That's Riley Velchek. Gives it over to Brooke Gelhar on the left wing on the near sideline in the offensive zone of the Blue Devils. Gelhar got over to, I believe, Lindsey Roman, but it was swatted away. And keeping possession is the Blue Devils. Stoppage in play. Lindsey Roman will line up on the left wing on the near sideline. She's going to get a free shot. Whistle blown. Roman tried to dump it over to the middle of the field to give it to Gelhar. Ball is loose. Both teams fighting for it. And coming up with a loose ball is Gelhar. She's on the right wing on the far sideline. She gives over to Velchek. Moving to her left towards the left wing. And she got fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So Riley Velchek will get a free shot on the left side of the arc on the near sideline. Whistle is blown. And Velchek scores. Riley Velchek running straight up the middle. In the bottom left corner of the net, she gets her first goal here for the Blue Devils. It's 6-2. Rocky River leads with 1:15 left in the first.
That was huge for the Blue Devils to get a second chance there at a free shot after the first one was extremely well defended by the Pirates. They couldn't even get a shot off on the first one, but they're able to, fight for the ball, keep possession, and it leads to a goal.
So the Blue Devils trying to chip away to the Rocky River lead. It was 5, now it's 4. With 1:15 left here in the first. The next draw is won by the Pirates. That's Emma Yezbach. On the left wing, on the far sideline, crossing midfield. Moving to her right, now at the right wing, on the near sideline. Emma Yezbach already with 2 goals here today. And we're still in the first quarter. 50 seconds remaining. Clara DeWitt at the X. Gives it over to Addie Russell in the middle of the field. Gives it back to Emma Yezbach. That's Grace DeWitt trying to fire a shot inside the arc, but she gets fouled. So Grace DeWitt will line up on the right side of the arc on the near sideline, trying to go for the hat trick here in the first quarter. Whistle is blown, and she loses the ball. Rocky River able to come up with it. That's Taylor Scalabrino. 20 seconds left here in the first. Grace DeWitt gets it back in the middle of the field in the offensive zone of the Pirates. 10 seconds left. She gives it to Emma Yezbach at the right wing on the near sideline. Tried to fire it over to the middle of the field to Emma El Mocho, but the pass is high. Brunswick comes up with the ground ball, but time will expire. So after 1 quarter of play, Rocky River leads Brunswick 6-2. An exciting first quarter, Nick.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, just great play overall by the Pirates. The Blue Devils really stepped it up in the last few minutes of that quarter. I'm hoping that the rest of this game goes more like it did the last few minutes of that quarter, where the Blue Devils were able to finally get stuff going on offense and keep control of the ball for a while. If they're able to do that, this should be a good game the rest of the way.
Let's take a look at some sponsors that have made this broadcast possible. We start with North Olmsted Sportsman Club. They offer a little bit of everything that the true outdoor sportsman would enjoy. At NOSC, memberships are open to everyone from novice to master. For those just starting, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources sponsors several adult and junior programs open to the public at NOSC. Everything is provided free of charge, including equipment, ammo, and targets. Also, don't forget Ladies' Night. Find out more about one of North Olmsted's oldest and most prestigious clubs at northolmstedsportsmanclub.com. JBL Roofing and Construction. With 25-plus years of excellence in roofing and construction, this family-owned and trusted company is your first choice in roofing needs. Experience the difference with JBL Roofing and Construction. You can find out more about them at jblrc.com. Cleveland Basketball Classic. Celebrate Cleveland boys and girls high school basketball. Admission is $16 daily for all games that day. All games will be held at Baldwin Wallace University Upspring Gymnasium over Thanksgiving weekend of 2025. The goal of this event is to honor the best of Cleveland basketball past while putting the spotlight on today's Cleveland area high schools. Cement Mason Local 404 Union. Whether you are an experienced journeyman or an apprentice, their doors are open for you to join the union. Current and future demand for skilled craftsman necessities, an apprenticeship program that takes into consideration practices of one of the world's oldest trades, along with instruction in new techniques, applications, technologies, and materials. The Local 404 Cement Masons Joint Apprenticeship and Training Program, GATC, supports a world-class curriculum of instruction and on-the-job training for more than 40 apprentices annually. Union Cement Mason skills are honed with the most comprehensive apprenticeship training program in the industry. As we get ready for the second quarter here at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium, Brunswick, Ohio, Brunswick High School, Rocky River leads 6-2. for this girls high school lacrosse matchup. As the draw bounces towards the far sideline and won by Rocky River at the right wing, moving to the middle of the field. Clara DeWitt off the post. Excuse me, that was Grace DeWitt. So much firepower on that shot. It bounced right back towards midfield. Brunswick comes up with the ground ball, if you want to call it that. In the middle of the field, in the offensive zone, that's Brooke Gelhar. She gives it over to Slavana Milankovic. Milankovic in the middle of the field, moving to her right, towards the right wing. On the far sideline. Svetlana Milankovic, the sophomore for the Blue Devils. Ball is loose. Coming up with it is Chloe Cash, but she steps out of bounds. The ball was deflected. Blue Devils try to get a pass towards the middle of the field, but it was deflected, and Cash got it near the out-of-bounds line.
That was a great defensive play by Kylie Spies on that last one to deflect that pass down towards the net to get the ball back in the hands of the Pirates.
Pirates in their defensive zone. That's McKenna Kelly. But Kelly loses the ball. And now Rocky River gets it right back. Kelly in the defensive zone for the Pirates. She dumps it over to Kylie Spies. Now over to Morgan Burnett. Burnett crosses midfield in the offensive zone of the Pirates. Dumps it over to Emma Yazbach at the right wing on the far sideline. She gives it over to Clara DeWitt. Yazbach gets it right back. Gives it back over to Morgan Burnett. Burnett tried to get a pass to Addie Tisler on the left wing on the near sideline, but pass is too high. Brunswick will get back in possession. 9:10 left here in the second quarter.
That was a rare mistake there by the Pirates so far in this game here on offense. Just an errant pass. And let's see if the Blue Devils can make anything happen from it.
Rocky River leads 6-2 on the near sideline. That's Abby Karam. Gives it over to Riley Velchek. Gives it back over to Lindsey Roman on the right wing, on the near sideline. Roman gives it over to Abby Karam. Karam gives it over to Velchek. Velchek gives it over to DeFazio. At the X, that's Gelhar. Wrapping around the goal. Trying to get over to Velchek. And she scores! But a whistle is blown. The goal is not going to count. And I believe there was a foul on Velchek. Velchek will stay in the game, but goal does not count. Or excuse me, no, it is a penalty, so Velchek will come out and have to sit a 2-minute penalty. I believe that was slashing. There is really no signal from the ref.
The fans are not happy with that one because that was an incredible goal by Velchek. Just unfortunately, it does not count. Man, that was a really tough shot, though.
So Rocky River now trying to take advantage of the penalty by Velchek. They're in their offensive zone at the right wing. That's Clara DeWitt. Now at the X. Try to dump it over to Tisler, but coming up with the over-the-head save is Addison Burns. Brunswick now moving from their defensive zone. At the left wing, that is Svetlana Milankovic. Milankovic crosses midfield. Still on the far sideline. Milankovic gives it over to Roman. On that left wing, Roman now moving to the X. Cuts back inside, and she scores! Lindsay Roman started at the X, cut back inside in front of Claudia Walsh at the doorstep, and gets her first goal here tonight for the Blue Devils. She got that in the top left corner of the net. It's 6-3. Rocky River leads with 7:13 left here in the second quarter.
Great play there by Roman. Started behind the net, then just goes right past her defender and sneaks that one in the net. Really impressive goal there for Lindsay Roman. And the Blue Devils are right back in this game after the really, really bad start to this game. They've really turned it up a notch here lately. And especially on the defensive end, though, only after 5 goals in the first 4 minutes of the game for the Pirates, they only have 1 since then.
And especially with shorthanded after Velchek committed that penalty. Rocky River wins the draw. Starting in the defensive zone for Rocky River, that's Addie Russell. Now in the offensive zone in the middle of the field, that's Grace DeWitt. DeWitt surveying her options. And whistle is blown. And I believe one of the Brunswick Blue Devils defenders crossed the line. Or no, excuse me, midfielder crossed the line. So now as we resume play, at the X, that's Tisler. And passes high again and goes out of bounds. Brunswick will get possession. And Rocky River is trying to do that a lot more, Nick. They're trying to give it to Tisler at the X. We don't have the height stat for Tisler, but all the passes are very high.
Yeah, the Pirates just seem out of sort on offense right now. Earlier in the game, they were not making these mistakes at all. They were very crisp with all their passes, made the right plays, made the smart plays. And just ever since the first 5 minutes of the game, just errant passes, bad mistakes, and just not real smooth play on offense. They got to get it figured out soon, and I assume they will when they're such a great team.
With 5:40 left to play, Rocky River in their defensive zone, up 6-3 over Brunswick here in the second quarter. Claudia Walsh gets the save on the shot from Brunswick. Brunswick now going the other way on the far sideline on the right wing. That is Addie Russell. She crosses midfield. Russell gives it over to Clara DeWitt in the middle of the field. Over to Mocho, not able to come up with it cleanly. Tisler with the shot. And a save by Addison Burns.
It looked like Mocho there. If she would have corralled that pass, she would have had an easy goal. Just unfortunately not able to come up with it. And the ball's going to be back in the hands of the Blue Devils. Just another mistake, though, by the Pirates.
And Rocky River had that goal dead to rights, as you said, in transition. Mocho not able to come up with the pass cleanly. And then Addison Burns tried to get over to Abby Voller behind the X, but the pass was too high. So Rocky River will get the ball right back with 4:35 remaining here in the second. Rocky River up 6-3 over Brunswick.
That's a mistake right there that you cannot make if you're the Blue Devils. They just threw away a possession there before it even started.
Mocho fires a shot, but deflected by Burns. Goes wide right and out of bounds. Rocky River keeps possession.
Burns making up for that errant pass with a good save right there.
And it looks like it wasn't touched by Burns. It hit the post and went out of bounds. So Brunswick will get possession. Burns at the crease, surveying her options. .350 left to play. Rocky River up 6-3 over Brunswick here in the second quarter. Burns finally gets a pass off. Now crossing midfield, that's Chloe Cash at the right wing on the near sideline.
Wow,
And a
what
good
play by
takeaway.
DeWitt.
DeWitt now on the near sideline on the left wing. Grace DeWitt all over the place here in this first half. DeWitt gives it over to Tisler at that X. Tisler surveying her options. Tisler at the right wing trying to cut inside. Trying to wrap around the goal at the left wing now. Gives it back to Grace DeWitt. Gives it over to Emma Yazbach. Yazbach gives it right back to DeWitt. Now they're just playing keep away here. Gelhar almost with the interception, but DeWitt coming up with it. At the left wing on the near sideline. Moving inside towards the middle of the field. 3:10 left to play. Rocky River up 6-3 here in the second. DeWitt goes from near sideline to far sideline at the right wing. Gives it back over to her sister Clara at the X. Trying to get a pass in the middle of the field. And foul is called inside that 8-meter arc. There wasn't a shot that was fired, but I believe someone did catch an elbow inside that arc. And the guilty party of that elbow was Addie Tisler. So it wasn't inside the arc, but Rocky River will keep possession. Tisler gives it over to Emma Yazbach. Tisler gets it right back on the near sideline on the left wing. 2:15 remain here in the second. Rocky River up 6-3 over Brunswick. Tisler moving to the middle of the field, and she gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So she'll have a shot on the left side of the arc on the near sideline. Whistle is blown. And what a save by Addison Burns. In the top right corner of the net, just above her shoulder. 1:45 remain here in the second. And another error pass by Burns. That's twice now we've seen Burns with an amazing save, but not able to get the pass to her teammates. And Rocky River trying to take advantage of the ball that goes out of bounds at the near sideline. Minute 25 left here to go in the second. 6-3 our score. Rocky River leads. El Mocho at the right wing on the near sideline. Mocho circling the net. Gives it over to Clara DeWitt. Excuse me, that was Grace DeWitt, and she gets the goal. So Grace DeWitt, with 3 goals here in the first half, it makes it 7-3. Rocky River leads. Minute 14 left in the second quarter. Looks like it bounced off the right pole and into the net and then came straight out. We thought it just bounced off the pole and out.
That was a great shot by DeWitt. I mean, she did not have a really great angle at the goal there, but still was able to get it into that top corner. And just she's been so great on both sides of the ball so far in this game, offensively and defensively, making takeaways for her team. And she's a huge reason why the Pirates have a 7-3 lead right now as we close in on halftime.
The next draw is won by Brunswick. That's Riley Velchek at the right wing on the near sideline in the offensive zone of the Blue Devils. She gives it over to Gelhar. Velchek try to get it right back, but passes wide, and coming up with the ground ball is Rocky River. Grace DeWitt crossing midfield at the right wing on the far sideline, trying to get another goal before halftime. 45 seconds left to go. DeWitt at the right wing. And a good chest save there by Addison Burns. Burns gives it over to Gelhar. Gelhar at the right wing on the near sideline. She crosses midfield. Gives it over to Milan Kovic. Kovic falls down. Brunswick will keep possession with 25 seconds left in their offensive zone, down 7-3 over Rocky River here in the second quarter. Gelhar gives it over to Velchek, bounces off the post. Behind the X, that's Roman. Roman gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc, so she'll get a free shot on the left side of the arc on the far sideline. Roman already with 1 goal today. Whistle blown. And Roman cuts to her right, and it's off the post. 5 seconds left. Brunswick's got to shoot quickly, and pass is too high and goes out of bounds. And that's going to close the first half here at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium in Brunswick, Ohio at Brunswick High School. The Rocky River Pirates lead the Brunswick Blue Devils 7-3 after 1 half of play here for some girls lacrosse high school action. What an exciting first half, Nick.
Yeah, it was a really good first half. I mean, obviously Rocky River got out to that blazing start, and then ever since then it's been a very even game. Both sides making a lot of mistakes on the offensive end, turning the ball over, just not making smart passes, and it's led to kind of a low-scoring affair so far in this game, but I'm really excited to see what the second half brings.
Grace DeWitt with 3 goals for Rocky River. Brunswick with 3 goals of their own. Riley Velchek, Lindsey Roman, Abby Karam. Let's take a look at some sponsors that have made this broadcast possible with this short intermission. Nick, take it away.
We have OCD Home Solutions. Do you need help with clutter? OCD Home Solutions isn't just about organizing your space. It's about helping you let go, gain clarity, and move forward in ways you've never thought possible. Whether you're ready to part with years of emotional ties, dreaming of a Pinterest-perfect pantry, or juggling the demands of a busy household, their team will meet with you with compassion, a little tough love, and a lot of expertise. You can reach them today at www.ocdhomesolutions.com or book them by phone by calling 216-299-3181 for a free consultation by mentioning Keon Sports when you contact them. The Kelly McLean Achievement Center. Kelly and the KMAC team become a part of each family, coaching students on how to learn, how to study, how to achieve their academic potential while discovering their true goals. All of this is accomplished with a strengths-driven approach and a comprehensive plan to help students demystify college selection and career planning.
Thank you, Nick. We're going to take a break at the half. Rocky River leads Brunswick 7-3. You're listening to Keon Sports Network on YouTube. Seven three, our score here at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium at Brunswick, Ohio. at Brunswick High School. Rocky River leads Brunswick 7-3 here in a girls lacrosse high school matchup. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Terork as we get ready for the second half. The sun still shining, but now is behind the stadium, so for the most part, completely shadow, except for the left half of the field. A little sunshine from the right side for the goaltender, but shouldn't be an issue in visual quality. Brunswick coming into this 8-9, 2-3 in the conference. Rocky River 10-5, 6-1 in the conference. And I thought it was interesting, Nick. Rocky River in 2024, 2023, and 2022 didn't lose a conference game. They're in Division II, Region 5 for their conference, and their last loss before this season was in 2021 against Avon. And that year, they went to the state semifinals. So besides the Walsh loss on March 29th, they haven't had a conference loss in a good portion of 4 years.
I mean, this has been an elite lacrosse program here at Rocky River. They're not having as strong of a season as they've had typically, but I think they still have the same amount of talent, the same ability to make a deep run in the playoffs. This is a great, great team.
As we get ready for the opening draw to start the third quarter. The draw is won by Rocky River. Brunswick wins the draw. That's Chloe Cash on the left wing on the near sideline. Cash gives it over to Roman. Roman gives it over to Karam, gives over to Velchek. Karam gets it right back. Karam at the left wing. Thought about a shot, but now at the X. Gives it over to Belhar. And shot blocked by Walsh.
That was a really good opportunity there for Gelhar to get an early goal here in this third quarter. But really good play there by Claudia Walsh.
So after the block shot by Claudia Walsh, Rocky River now in their defensive zone at the right wing on the near sideline. That's Kylie Spees. She crosses midfield in the offensive zone of the Pirates. Spees gives it over to Tisler. Tisler in the middle of the field. Gives it over to Grace DeWitt. DeWitt gives it over to Emma Yazbach. Yazbach gives it right back to Grace DeWitt. DeWitt thought about charging forward, but cuts back. Gives it over to Addie Russell. Addie Tisler at the X. Gives it over to El Mocho. Mocho trying to circle around the goal. And shot off the post. Addie Tisler sitting at the far post.
Couple of close calls here early on in this third quarter, but both shots just end up missing, and it's still a 4-goal game.
Brunswick comes up with the ground ball in their defensive zone. That's Milankovic. Milankovic at the right wing on the far sideline gives it over to Voller. Voller gives over to Karam. Karam gives it over to DeFazio, crossing midfield, now in the offensive zone of the Blue Devils. And DeFazio falls down. Blue Devils will keep possession. At the left wing on the near sideline. Gives it over to Samantha McGuire in the middle of the field. Try to get it over to Karam, but pass is wide and goes out of bounds. Rocky River comes up with possession after the turnover. Rocky River in their defensive zone. On the right wing, on the near sideline. That is Maggie Nup. Nup. Moving to her left. in the middle of the field. Gives it over to Spees, crossing midfield. The Pirates now in their offensive zone. Try to get over to Holton, but pass is wide and goes out of bounds. But Addie Tisler is right there. And the officials are going to say that she did not touch it. So Brunswick will get possession. Addison Burns inside the crease. Gives it over to Milan Kovic. Milan Kovic loses the ball for a moment, and Rocky River comes up with the ground ball. Losing it inside the arc is Tisler. And Brunswick comes up with the ground ball. So both teams struggling to handle the ball here in the second half, Nick.
Yeah, very sloppy play so far in this third quarter. Only 2 shot attempts off so far combined through the two teams. Just no one's really even been able to hold the ball long enough to really get a good look at the net.
Brunswick still in their defensive zone. That's Abby Voller. Gives it over to Brooke Gelhar on the near sideline on the left wing. And pass is intercepted by Russell. Russell in the offensive zone of the Pirates, moving to her left in the middle of the field. Russell surveying her options. Gives it over to Tisler on that right wing on the near sideline. Russell gets it right back. Gives it over to Yesbach in the middle of the field. Yesbach gives it to Grace DeWitt. Back to Russell. Mocho gets in the middle of the field. Mocho at the left wing. At the X. And scoring is Maggie Nupp, I believe. Excuse me, that was Maeve Sheridan. And Rocky River again coming around behind the X, sneaking in front of the doorstep, and they get another goal. Sheridan got that in the bottom left corner of the net, bounced it in. She gets her first goal of the night. 6:40 remaining here in the third. Rocky River leads 8-3.
Finally, some offense here in this third quarter, and it comes from the Pirates. That's a big goal for the Pirates here because, honestly, I thought whoever came out and scored first in this third quarter, they were in a great spot the rest of the game. If the Blue Devils would have scored first, it would have only been a 3-goal game, but instead it's the Pirates who extend their lead to 5, and the hopes of a comeback for the Blue Devils are looking smaller and smaller.
So the sophomore Maeve Sheridan with her first goal here tonight. Brunswick wins the draw on the right wing on the far sideline. That's Brooke Gelhar moving to her left towards the middle of the field. Gives it over to Abby Karam. Karam on the left wing on the near sideline, but turns it over. Great interception there by Kylie Spees. Spees on the near sideline. Gives it over to Yesbach. It's deflected, but picked up by Clara DeWitt. DeWitt now in the offensive zone on the right wing on the near sideline. Gives it over to Mocho. Over to Grace DeWitt. Ball is loose. But Yesbach in the middle of the field. She gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So Emma Yesbach will go back to the arc for a free shot opportunity on the left side of the arc on the far sideline. Whistle is blown. And Yesbach bounces it in and scores. Emma Yesbach with her third goal of the night, the hat trick. Bounces it in the bottom left corner of the net. It's 9-3. Rocky River leads with 5:20 remaining here in the third.
Great shot by Yesbach, and it was all set up from the great defensive play made by Kylie Spees. She's made a few great defensive plays for the Pirates in this one, and right there she just set her team up for another goal. 2 straight goals now for the Pirates. Their lead's at 6, and they're starting to pull away here.
The biggest lead for Rocky River here tonight. After that amazing second quarter by Brunswick, hasn't shown any offense here in the third. Brunswick, they lost to Lake back on April 26th, where they only had 4 goals. That's the least amount of goals they have scored this season. As winning the draw is Rocky River. On the near sideline, on the right wing, that's Addie Russell. Russell with the football pass to Mocho in the middle of the field in the offensive zone of the Pirates. Mocho moving to her left, loses the ball, and gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So El Mocho will have a free shot right in the middle of the arc. Whistle is blown, and Mocho scores! El Mocho gets it in the bottom right corner of the net. It's 10-3. Rocky River leads Brunswick with 4:38 remaining here in the third.
Right now, the Blue Devils are just gifting the Pirates goals, back-to-back free shots that have led to goals, and it's now a 10-3 game. Just been a disaster of a third quarter for the Blue Devils. They've kind of gone back to playing how they were playing early on in that first quarter rather than how they played for the whole second quarter pretty much, and the Pirates are starting to distance themselves here in this one.
El Mocho with their first goal of the night. Brunswick takes a timeout. We're going to take it with them. 4:38 remaining here in the third. Rocky River leads Brunswick 10-3. You're listening to Keon Sports Network here on YouTube. .438 remaining here in quarter number 3. Rocky River leads Brunswick 10-3 for some girls high school lacrosse action here on Keon Sports Network on YouTube. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Terork. We were talking about it on the commercial break, Nick. It seems like Rocky River is really out hustling Brunswick here in the third quarter.
Yeah, just I'm not going to say the effort's not there for the Blue Devils, but I think Rocky River they have more speed, they're more aggressive towards the ball, and it's led to a lot of their success here in this game. And another spot where I feel like the Pirates are dominating the Blue Devils is on the draws. They've won what seems like almost every draw here in this game, and it's hard to do much on offense when you're not winning draws, when you're not in possession of the ball.
And it seems like every game we've covered this season, one team has dominated the draw game. We saw Hoover dominate against Stronsville. Hudson dominated against Stronsville as well. And even when we did Westlake and Olmsted Falls, I think Olmsted Falls dominated the draw most of the games. As out of the timeout, the next draw will be taken by Brooke Gelhar for the Devils. And then for Rocky River, I believe that is... Couldn't read the number. My apologies. Ball is loose and is finally won by Grace DeWitt in the Pirates. They're in their offensive zone. Addie Russell got hit in the face on the near sideline on the right wing. Whistle is blown. River will keep possession. Addie Russell gives it over to McKenna Kelly. On the left wing, on the far sideline, she gives it over to Ellie Holton. Holton fell down for a moment, able to regather herself, now moving to her right, towards the right wing, on the near sideline. Holton now traveling to the X. Holton back at that left wing on the far sideline, gives it over to Grace DeWitt. DeWitt in the middle of the field, cuts one way, then cuts the other. Whistle is blown.
No goal.
Believe Grace DeWitt was fouled inside that 8-meter arc. She went to her right, cut back to the left, and bounced it in the net, but foul was called, so she'll take a free shot in the middle of the arc. Whistle is blown, and bouncing it in and scoring is Grace DeWitt. Grace DeWitt, with her 4th goal here tonight, she bounced it in the top left corner of the net. That was a high bounce, and it now makes it an 11-3 Rocky River lead with 3:20 remaining here in the third.
DeWitt has just been really impressive tonight. She showed right there just what makes her this team's leading scorer. She now has 4 goals on the night. On the play to draw the foul, she showed a very, very great burst of speed to get by the defender. Her shot making has been excellent. She's just really the complete package as a lacrosse player.
Next draw is won by Rocky River. Grace DeWitt once again in the offensive zone of the Pirates. At the X, it's Isla Berliner. Berliner gives it over to Grace DeWitt on the right wing on the near sideline, moving to her left towards the middle of the field. Gives it over to Russell. Russell got it over to Clara DeWitt. She jumped up and bounced it in and score. Man, like a slam dunk, but lacrosse style, Nick. What a play by Clara DeWitt. She bounces it in the bottom left corner of the net and snuck around the Brunswick Blue Devils defense. It's 12-3. Rocky River leads with 2:44 remaining in the third. What a play.
That really looked like an alley-oop, like a basketball-style play right there. Just the great pass to lob it over the defender, the jump by DeWitt, the slam into the ground, into the net. What a play by the Pirates right there. Just they continue to impress so much here tonight.
Clara DeWitt, you got hops and showed it off right there. As finally winning the draw is the Blue Devils. That's Riley Velchek. In the offensive zone, on the near sideline, on the left wing, gives it over to Brooke Gelhar. Gelhar just running through the Pirates' defense. Thought about a shot, but now she's at the X. Gelhar now at the right wing on the far sideline. Gelhar trying to find an open woman. Eventually gives it over to Abby Karam. Gelhar gets it right back, cutting to her left towards the middle of the field. Gelhar in the middle of the field gives it over to Milan Kovic. Milan Kovic thought about a shot, but she'll back away. At the X now, it's Lindsay Roman. Velchek try to get it over to Gelhar, but not able to corral the pass cleanly. Velchek able to get the rebound at the left wing on the near sideline. Gives it over to Cameron Ellish. Back over to Chloe Cash. Gelhar now at the left wing on the far sideline. Gelhar cuts back to the middle of the field. And she gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So she'll take a free shot on the left side of the arc on the near sideline. Brooke Gelhar, the junior, one of the top scorers for the Blue Devils, still looking for her first goal. Whistle is blown, and she went forward and stopped. She gives it over to Lindsay Roman, and now Roman gets fouled inside that 8-meter arc. I don't know about that strategy, Nick. You charge, and then you stop.
It was really good defense by the Pirates. I mean, 2 girls just kind of blocked her path to the goal, and there was really nothing else she could do besides take it back out and try and find an open teammate.
Roman on the free shot shoots it wide right and goes out of bounds. 45 seconds left here in the third. Rocky River leads 12-3. Brunswick able to keep possession, but not able to corral the pass cleanly is Cameron Ellish at the X. It goes out of bounds. Rocky River gets possession with 30 seconds left in their defensive zone. On the right wing, on the near sideline, that's Maggie Knupp. Nupp gives it back over to Grace DeWitt. She crosses midfield. 12 seconds left. She tried to get over to Spees. Not able to corral the pass correctly. Picking it up is Ellie Holton on the left wing. Back to DeWitt in the middle of the field. Spin move. Shot wide. Goes out of bounds. And that will conclude the third quarter. Rocky River up 12-3 over Brunswick. We'll head to the fourth. Pirates up big over the Blue Devils. You're listening to Keon Sports Network on YouTube. Twelve to 3 our score. Rocky River leads Brunswick here in a girls lacrosse high school matchup at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium, Brunswick, Ohio. Brunswick High School. Jared Vinecourt joined alongside Nick Terork. Rocky River Pirates firing on all cylinders all night long, Nick, especially that third quarter. The DeWitt sisters putting on a show in the third.
Yeah, I mean, just out of tonight's game alone, you could make a great highlight reel for the two DeWitt sisters, as they've just shown off incredible skill so far in this game. I mean, Claire DeWitt with that last goal off the great pass. Then, obviously, we know what Grace DeWitt has done tonight. 4 goals, just a ton of really impressive shots. Her speed is just different than anyone else that out on the field right now. And that's why Rocky River's up 12-3 right now.
Sun setting here in Brunswick, Ohio. A beautiful spring night. 56 degrees at game time. It's now down to 54. Feels like 52. I'll tell you what. I don't know if there's a lot of lacrosse teams playing tomorrow, but they should be playing tomorrow. 74 degrees tomorrow, Sunday. It'll be 69 degrees. Looks like it's finally starting to warm up here in Northeast Ohio.
I hope so, man. I'm just hoping this rain stays away for a while. It's felt like it's been raining for 2 straight weeks.
Knock on wood, brother. Knock on wood. As we get ready for quarter number 4. Taking the draw for the Blue Devils, that will be Brooke Gelhar. And for the Pirates, that is Tegan Hopkins. Hopkins wins the draw for the Pirates in their offensive zone on the left wing on the near sideline. Hopkins gives it over to Sinead McKenna. McKenna gives it over to Mocho. Mocho dumps it over to Ella Miller, the senior. Mocho gets it right back. Hopkins gives it over to McKenna at that left wing on the near sideline. Russell over to Tisler on the near post. Couldn't get a shot off. Got fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So she'll have a free shot on the left side of the arc on the near sideline. Tisler, the junior, already with 1 goal here tonight. Whistle is blown, and shot is high over top of the goal. Rocky River able to keep possession. 10:40 left here to play in the fourth. They're up 12-3 over Brunswick. Rocky River at the X. That's Sneed McKenna, the junior. Loses it. But stepping out of bounds was Cameron Ellish. So Rocky River catches a break. McKenna trying to wrap around and deflected off Burns and in. Sneed McKenna fired a shot. It deflected off a Burns stick and into the net. 13-3 our score. 10:13 left to play here in the fourth.
Wow, what a weird play there. I mean, it was a good play by Burns, but just unfortunately for her, it just rolled barely into the net as McKenna gets on the board with her first goal of the night, and it's now a 10-goal lead for the Pirates. It's just completely slipped away from the Blue Devils.
And nothing has gone right tonight for the Blue Devils, and that's kind of the last straw, the last break for the Blue Devils. You don't want a goal that deflects off your stick like that.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, the start of the game and the second half of the game have really just killed the Blue Devils in this one. They played really good lacrosse in that second period, but unfortunately for them, every other quarter has not gone as well as that second one did.
The Blue Devils won the draw, but they lost the ball in our offensive zone. Coming up with it is Bodie McDougall in the defensive zone of the Pirates on the right wing on the far sideline. She gives it over to Hopkins. Hopkins loses it. Now Brunswick crossing midfield into their offensive zone on the left wing on the far sideline. That is Karam. Karam gives it over to Milankovic in the middle of the field. Milankovic dumps it over to Gelhar. Gelhar at the right wing on the near sideline. Moving to her left towards the middle of the field. Milankovic gets it back in the middle of the field. Milankovic dumps it over to Cash. Over to Velchek, and she scores. But it does not count once again. So that is twice tonight. Riley Velchek has had 2 goals, but they have been erased due to fouls. But she does get a free shot. She did get fouled inside that 8-meter arc. So she'll line up on the right side of the arc on the near sideline. Whistle blown. And there it is. Riley Velchek with her second goal of the night. She got that over the left shoulder of Claudia Walsh. It's 13-4. Rocky River leads with 7:43 left here to play in the fourth.
There's Velchek as she finally gets that elusive second goal that she's came so close to getting multiple times in this game tonight. As I feel like she's been a bright spot for the Blue Devils here in this game. She's played a really solid game.
Velchek, though, needs some help from her team. She hasn't really gotten any aid here tonight. And now Brunswick ties their career season low with 4 goals. They win the draw. Roman at the right wing on the near sideline loses the pass for a moment. Fighting near the out-of-bound line is her and Malia McGinty. Roman able to come up with it. Roman now at the X. Now at the left wing on the far sideline. She gives it over to Karam. Karam gives it over to Gelhar in the middle of the field. Roman gets it right back. Over to Karam. It's shot off the post. Sometimes that post is your best friend, and that post was Claudia Walsh's best friend right there. Brunswick able to keep the ball, bounced right into the hands of Lindsay Roman. She's going to take a free shot inside that 8-meter arc on the left side of the arc on the far sideline. She went forward, then cut to her right, gave it over to Riley Velchek, over to Milankovic, and she scores. Great offensive passing by the Blue Devils. Milankovic left all alone in front of that doorstep. She bounces in the bottom left corner of the net. It's 13-5. Rocky River leads with 6:31 left here to play in the fourth.
You know, I was just about to comment how great the Pirates' defense has been on free shots tonight. It seems like every time the Blue Devils have a free shot, there's two girls there to just make the girl redirect and not allow a shot on the free shot. But great passing, was able to find an open girl by the net, and the Blue Devils get their second straight goal. They're starting to play a little bit better here.
Milankovic, the sophomore, gets her first goal scored here tonight. I don't want to do core. Rocky River wins the draw. They're in their offensive zone on the left wing on the near sideline. That's Grace DeWitt once again. Gives it over to Emma Yazbach. Yazbach now at the X. At the right wing now on the far sideline. Gives it over to Hopkins. Over to Morgan Burnett. Hopkins gets it right back, but loses it. Brooke Gelhar able to come up with it. Over to Milankovic once again on the far sideline on the left wing. Passing midfield, now in the offensive zone of the Blue Devils. Milankovic surveying her options. Gives it over to Karam. Karam gives it to Velchek. Velchek gives it over to Gelhar at the right wing on the near sideline, moving to her left towards the middle of the field. Gelhar now at the left wing on the far sideline, and she gets fouled. I don't think she got fouled inside that 8-meter arc. And she didn't. As we resume play, Gelhar, what a pass to Velchek, but a nice save by Claudia Walsh. And now in the net. No, that is still Claudia Walsh. And sorry, I was correct at first. It's Ava Gortz now inside the crease for the Pirates with 4:40 remaining. 13-5 our score here in the fourth. Rocky River leads. They're in their offensive zone. That's Emma Yazbach at the right wing on the far sideline. Gives it over to Grace DeWitt. DeWitt in the middle of the field. Gives it over to Hopkins. Hopkins gives it over to Morgan Burnett. Passes wide, and coming up with the ground ball is the Blue Devils. Going the other way. Crossing midfield in their offensive zone. That's Chloe Cash. Cash at the right wing on the near sideline. On her is Grace DeWitt. Cash gives it over to Milankovic. Milankovic over to Gelhar in the middle of the field. Gives it over to Karam on the far sideline on the left wing. Gives it right back to Gelhar in the middle of the field. Gelhar moving to her right. Cuts back. Gelhar with a shot. Blocked by Gortz. Brunswick able to keep possession. They're at the X. Chloe Cash. Try to get over to Karam, but pass goes wide. Able to save it is Gelhar. Gelhar at the right wing on the near sideline. Dumps it over to Velchek, and shot is high, wide, and right, and goes out of bounds. Rocky River will get possession. With Ava Gortz now in as the goalkeeper. 2:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Rocky River leads Brunswick 13-5 here in the fourth. Rocky River in their defensive zone, That is Maggie Knupp. Knupp gives it over to Morgan Burnett. She crosses midfield. Nice spin move at the right wing on the far sideline. Burnett Gives it over to Vickers. Back over to Grace DeWitt in the middle of the field, surveying her options. Cuts right, cuts back to the left. Gives it over to Sinead McKenna. And a nice save there by Addison Burns. .150 remain here in the fourth. Rocky River leads Brunswick 13-5. Burns' pass got deflected and went out of bounds. Rocky River will get possession. Rocky River at the offensive zone. Grace DeWitt, a nice spin move inside, and she bounces in and scores. Grace DeWitt with her 5th goal of the night. She was at the left wing on the near sideline. Amazing spin move inside, bounces in the bottom left corner. It's 14-5 with 1:23 remain here in the fourth. Grace DeWitt showing off in style, Nick, to end this one here tonight.
She continues to add to her already impressive highlight reel. Just another outstanding play. That's just a play, that spin move. That's not something you see a lot. Just that pure athleticism from some of these high school players. And that's why she's committed to play at the college level, because of her just pure athleticism, her speed, her agility, and her shot making.
She cannot be stopped. As Brunswick wins the draw, that's Lindsay Roman. Roman and the Blue Devils in their offensive zone. Gives it over to Velchek. Back over to Karam in the middle of the field. Karam tried to fire a shot off, but got fouled inside that 8-meter arc, so she'll get a free shot right in the middle of the arc with a minute remaining here in the fourth. 14-5, Rocky River leads Brunswick.
Early start.
And that was Kylie Spees with the early start. Karam shoots and scores. But again, we have another whistle. And it looks like one of the Brunswick players started early this time. Or no, goal does count. Okay. There was a discussion by the officials, but goal will count. So give Abby Karam her 2nd goal of the night. She got that in the bottom left corner of the net. It's 14-6, Rocky River leads here in the fourth with 58 seconds remaining. The next draw is won by the Blue Devils. That's Chloe Cash. Gives it over to Velchek. Crossing midfield and into the offensive zone. It's Karam once again. Karam gives it to Gelhar in the middle of the field, and she scores. Brooke Gelhar gets that in the bottom left corner of the net from the right wing on the near sideline. Give her her 1st goal of the night. It's 14-7. Rocky River leads with 41 seconds left here in the fourth.
There's Brooke Geller getting in the scoring log. One of the leading scorers for this Blue Devils team, gets her 1st goal of the night. And with a player that's as good as her, you knew it was bound to happen at some point here. If you're the Blue Devils, you would have hoped that it would have happened with less than 40 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, Rocky River putting in some reserves to close out this one. Brunswick taking advantage of it, getting some good goals here to end it. As winning the draw is Rocky River. Kylie Spees at the right wing on the far sideline. She gives it over to Emma Yazbach. Yazbach cuts left, back into the middle of the field. She gives it over to Clara DeWitt. Think she'll make it 6, Nick?
I don't think so. It looks like the Pirates are content with letting the clock run out here.
10 seconds remaining. Grace DeWitt gives it over to Yazbach. Yazbach trying to fire one more shot off, but it's bounced right into the stick of Addison Burns, and that will end it. Rocky River gets the victory here tonight at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium here in Brunswick, Ohio at Brunswick High School, 14-7 over the Brunswick Blue Devils. Rocky River, they moved to 11-5 on the year. As for the Brunswick Blue Devils, they moved to 8-10. What a game, Nick.
Yeah, it really was an entertaining matchup. Just so much great play, great goal scoring out of the Rocky River Pirates in this game. A lot of just really impressive goals. Some of the most impressive goals we've seen this season. And it's been a long season. The season's almost over. And that was a lot of just great playmaking, great speed, great athleticism, great passing. Just an all-around very impressive performance by the Rocky River Pirates.
Grace DeWitt leading the charge with 5 goals. Her sister, Clara DeWitt, had an amazing slam dunk goal. And Emma Yazbach with 3 goals of her own. Everyone contributing for the Pirates here tonight offensively. And the Pirates have now won 4 straight against the Brunswick Blue Devils. And the last 6 out of the 7, they have now won 2 in a row. They beat Magnificat yesterday 15-8. And now this one 14-7. They have one more game at home next Tuesday against Strongsville to conclude their regular season. As for Brunswick, this was their last game of the year, so we'll see if they make it to the tournament or not, but they have now lost 4 straight to Rocky River. We close out with some sponsors that have made all of this possible. We want to thank Olmsted Smoke Shop and then Maxim Lacrosse. Maxim Lacrosse will demand players and be the game by giving and receiving respect and understanding the character counts. Maxim Lacrosse provides the opportunity for passionate, high-performing athletes to come together, celebrate their accomplishments, and work together to demonstrate competitive excellence. That will conclude our matchup here tonight at Brunswick Auto Mart Stadium. He's Nick Terork. I'm Jared Vinecourt. Have a great night, everybody, and a safe weekend.